you can even access what psilocybin does to you, and that's like mushroom psychedelics, right? Like you can access that through breath work. Like I don't even smoke. Like I'm literally just.
So have you found, so like with your creative ability that you use in songwriting and in your life, do you find that there is a huge creative flow within business as well?
I think creativity is just care, and I'm very caring. So I'm like, ooh, I see that you have, like you said, you have psoriasis. If I didn't have my products before and you told me you had psoriasis, I would try to fix I've been a fixer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm taking this yoga course. And I think I want to go back to school for therapy, because I'm just like, I see how we can fix stuff. Like, I see these problems, and then I see the solution. And a lot of us get stuck in the problem, or we get freaked out. And it's like, I used to be that person. Who, while there was a problem, I would freak out. And now I just see the problem, and I'm like, okay, problem, we're going to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can handle, like, either way, it has to get solved. But you can do it chaotically, or you could like flow through it.
Yeah.
So that's with the products. I'm just like, okay, here's the problem. Even with COVID, I was like, okay, I created something called Breathe Free. And it helps just clear your lungs of mucus. And it can help smokers. It can help so many other things. You know what I mean? It's not just for that. It's for asthma. It's for allergies. Like so many things. And just like, let's just help people help themselves.
Absolutely.
You know?
It's like almost like, removing yourself from the situation. That's what I love about, like, if I'm going through something, being able to take myself out of it and then like leave town and be able to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, that's the problem. And then now what's the solution?
What's the solution?
Always being resolution based on that.
I had postpartum depression after my daughter, and they try to put you in all these drugs and antidepressants, and I was like, there has to be something else.
Yeah.
And so I started researching different herbs, and that's how I came up with my peace pills. And the peace pills also help you with like insomnia. And being a creative, your mind's constantly going, and it just relaxes you. So just finding something to help myself, I'm like, this is going to help somebody else. This is going to help. I'm not the only mother in the world.
Yeah,
I'm not the only one with postpartum. So
wow.
I have a question for
you.
you. Where did you find this calm? Where did you find it? How do you get it? And like, what has created this calm for you? Because you're you like calm me down just right now.
I grew up with a very anxious mother and grandmother. I would say that on my mom's side, it was women warriors instead of warriors. And I feel like I lived most of my life like that because I had so much trauma. I decided that I did not want to live like that anymore. I don't want to live in a constant state of anxiety. And again, I found that you can solve the same and go through the same things, but you don't have to. It's just like if there was a bee flying in here right now and everybody started freaking out, right? But what if there's that one person who's just like watching the bee and is like, okay, I'm going to move this way a little bit, or I'm going to move that way so that I don't get stung. There's a probability of you still getting stung, but do you have to scream? You don't. You can just choose to like surrender.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I like that.
And so I think it's a combination of that. I think ego death, which I'm still working on, but psilocybin and just like, you can even access what psilocybin does to you. And that's like mushroom psychedelics, right? Like you can access that through breath work, which I do almost every day. It releases DMT, which is what we release when we're born and when we die. And it basically just opens up like your third eye and this whole other thing that makes you realize that like, I am not the center of the universe, but at the same time, I am loved like I am the center of the universe, right? And it's so cool to think of like consciousness is able to love you when there's infinite other humans and dimensions and whatever, right? Like to think about how you're so loved to infinity will give you this calmness because it's like, okay, you don't like me? That's cool. The creator of everything loves me. Like, do I even like you? Like, why do I care so much? So I just learned to stop caring so much about things that are just out of my control and don't matter. And it just like literally makes you feel like you're always high. Like people think that I'm always high. I'm like, I don't even smoke. Like I'm literally just feeling it all the time. It's bliss, it's ecstasy. Like I've had orgasms on breath work. Like it's crazy what can happen to you. And that's another reason I wanted to start this certification, because I want to teach sacred energy healing. I want to teach people how to calm and self-soothe and how to emotionally regulate, which is super important for business. But I didn't want to numb myself, because when you're creative, it's like they give you two options in the world, right? It's like numb yourself or be this crazy passionate person. And I'm so passionate, but I didn't want to, I'm like, there has to be something else, right? Like I can still be super passionate and have all the like beautiful downloads and things that we get being a creative and not be numb.